Welcome, everyone. I'm so very happy to welcome you all here to another in our little series of performances that we are doing all remotely during the age of COVID. My name is Sean Carson, and on behalf of Berkeley Art Museum Pacific Film Archive, I want to welcome you all and thank you for attending. We had a last minute change from doing this on YouTube, where we normally do this, to doing it on Zoom webinar. So thank you for rolling with us on that too. Very happy to have you all here, and even more happy to welcome this truly amazing artist and extremely talented performer and composer and vocalist, Spelling. So I'd like to welcome her onto the screen with me.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Thank you, Sean, for the intro. I thank you for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy this performance from the comfort of your home. I just wish you all a lot of love. I have a ton of appreciation for the Berkeley Art Museum. Actually, my first job was at the museum
Yep.
as a visitor services front desk person right when I started undergrad.
Mm-hmm.
I've circled back many times along my academic and artistic pursuits. I graduated from the MFA program in 2019. And during that time for my thesis show, I was debuting some of the earlier imaginings of these songs that you'll see. I think that's really cool. The songs are called Awaken, Emperor with an Egg, and Sweet Talk. I just think it's really cool that the Berkeley Art Museum just continues to be this venue for generating new material. I feel like these experiences with the museum have happened in really significant parts of my life and growth. So that's exciting. And it's great to present this work right now. It's in it's just great timing. I just finished a pretty significant project, a new album. It's called The Turning Wheel, and that is coming out in the summer. So yay.
Yeah, everyone be sure to be looking for that.
Yes.
We're very, of course, very proud of our, I shouldn't say long, but our association with you over the years, and it's really just been lovely that you've been part of the Berkeley Art Museum world in various capacities for a while. Is there anything particular you wanted to say about the pieces that we're hearing tonight?
Nothing particular, just that if you're interested in staying up to date with the evolution of the music in its final form with the album, just to follow me on social media, Spelling with 3 L's,
That's right.
Instagram,
Yep.
and on Bandcamp if you want to follow me there. I post updates regularly. So yeah.
Yeah, I will recommend the Instagram is a fun follow for sure. I'll tell our audience, while we're enjoying these videos this video that Spelling pre-made for us. Feel free to ask questions in the little Q&A box that's there. There's a little thing you can hit at the bottom of your screen. It says Q&A. You don't have to wait till the end, but that's also great if you want to wait till the end. But feel free to ask questions, and we'll talk about things and have a nice discussion at the end. So unless there's anything else you wanted to say. No? Okay. In that case, we'll go straight to the video, and everyone sit back and enjoy tonight's performance by Spelling.
Thank you.
Here in the spiral willing to lose. I'm ready to love, kind of like golden numbers. I'm ready to love, kind of like golden numbers. No, I can't see you, but I know who you are. No, I can't find you, but I know you're not fine. It's not fine. I'm ready to love, counting my golden numbers. Oh, I'm ready to love, counting my golden numbers. Holy Father, please awaken your love. Holy Mother, we forsaken your trust. Do we have the mind to change, to make it better? Back down on earth. Space Command engage, the great return. Back down to earth. High in the tower we go, America. Lightning strike down to our core. All we want is right here. All we need and more. Let your heart surrender. Let your heart transform. Oh. Heart of Venus, heal us today, tomorrow. Navigate us, steer us to a new dawn. Now we have the science to change, let's make it better. Back down on earth. On a satellite we wait for the great return. Back down to earth. High in a tower we go, America. Lightning strike down to our core. All we want is right here. All we need and more. Let your heart surrender. Let your heart transform. All we want is right here. All we need and more. Let your heart surrender. Let your heart transform. Oh. swing with his wings like an arrow. He's a bird, he's a king, he can swim with his wings like an arrow. He's a bird, he's a king, he can swim with his wings like an arrow. He's a bird, he's a king, he can swim with his wings like an arrow. Like this. Feel a leopard seal. Oh, I can feel a leopard seal. I hear the musical words. I hear the musical words in the arc of a rainbow, in the spider's heart. Wait for the verses, the colorful voices. Wait for the verses, the colorful voices. How you walk, how you walk, how you
Well, it is weird to not have a huge round of applause, but this is our life, our world that we live in now, thanks to coronavirus. But I'd give one man applause, of course. What a fantastic and amazing performance that was. Thank you so much for putting that together for us. Just for tonight, it really just beautiful and moving in so many ways. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I really appreciate it. It was really fun. So,
Yeah, it's just amazing. And again, I'll encourage people to type things into the Q&A if you have questions you want to ask or just even just comments to make. Um, but I thought I'd ask you a couple of questions myself, um, if you don't mind. And one of them is about lyrically, and I'll say that I think this is probably true of your older work too, but maybe it's more focused now. That it seems like a lot of your lyrics have a little bit to do with sort of disconnection or isolation or translating messages across different ways. Is that something that you think has been, I don't know, that's been more pronounced in this last year, or maybe not?
that's an interesting question. I think lyrics have been more, I've considered them more with this latest work.
Hmm.
I think with my previous work, lyrics kind of flowed in a more like incantation, like incantatory way,
Yes, absolutely.
where there's a lot of repetition and a lot of like emphasis on like the sounds of words. And then for this album, I think I just had a lot of time with the way things unfolded. The album was supposed to come out in September 2020, and then
Mhm.
things got super delayed.
Sure.
And then I thought I could focus more on the lyric writing and just see what happened. And so it definitely became more narrative. And
Mhm.
I draw a lot of inspiration from literature, and I was reading a lot. Same with previous work, but for this one, yeah, I spent a lot of time reading and like wanted to flesh things out more and kind of just see what would unfold with yeah, just more just elongating the lyric process. So
Cool.
yeah, this stuff definitely is more full.
Yeah, it definitely it comes through, I'll say. I mean, I think it really does. So congratulations. It's great to see these new kind of steps in your work. So super great. And the other question I just have before, and I will dig into all the other people who are asking questions, but is about your sort of sense of rhythm. And I don't even mean like on a small scale, but kind of on a large scale, like how you kind of divide the songs up. I don't know if they come to you in little pieces that you end up putting together, or if you're thinking about a kind of a large scale structure to them from the beginning, or maybe you can talk about that just for a minute.
Wow. Yeah. Um, so questioning about the songwriting process or
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's to me, I find it really fascinating the way the songs are structured,
yeah.
and I think when you get into the moment that feels like a chorus,
Yeah.
and sometimes that happens only once in the song. Sometimes it comes back again later, or it might be varied or not. And there's these sort of things of sort of percolating rhythms that will change over time. I'm wondering if there's any, how like when you're creating these pieces how much you're thinking about this sort of large scale structure or rhythm or whatever you want to call it, or is it just sort of flowing out of you and you're figuring it out as you go?
Yeah, it's so interesting and it's always surprising. Thinking about the songs I specifically did for this set. So there's Awaken and then there's Emperor. Yeah, I think what's in common with the latter three, because the last
Hmm.
three I played are brand new, and then
Yes.
the one before is from Maisie Fly. But the last three are new works, and yeah, it's I think in common with those is it started with the melody. It started with me experimenting on my synth, and the synth can just be so productive. Um,
Sure.
Such a productive voice. It inspires. things around it. So I'll just start playing around with the synth, and like you play one thing with one patch and it sounds like a whole different mood, and then you try it with a different mood, and then things just start to shape around it. So a lot of times it starts with that. It starts with like the timbre of the sound, and then the mood builds, and lyrics are always last
Sure.
because I think like I have the instinct of like soundtrack making things, scoring things. I imagine stories and I imagine like writing the song to it, and then the lyrics come later because it's like, oh, this like composition already exists, and then I'm, you know, telling the story on top of it with the words. But so yeah, and I think that's the only common denominator, is that the lyrics usually come last. It's inspired by a melody that can be fleeting, but oftentimes inspired by synth because they're so infinite, with what you can produce with just one note, and
Right.
you know, experimenting with the parameters in it.
Right.
So
That
yeah.
definitely comes across. So I think that's a great segue into some of the questions here. One of the questions that someone asked is, can you talk a little bit about the technology that you use?
Yeah. Um, so I have a kind of humble setup. I started like with, I haven't really deviated very far from my like very humble beginning, which is like starting with a loop pedal, and I have a microKORG, which is just an all around like beast of an instrument that's affordable for everybody. I like to write on that, and I like to write on my, I have the synth that I was using in this setup is a 6-track. It's a sequential circuits synthesizer. It's very unpredictable. It's an analog synth that's got a lot of power, but it's, I was hoping like during that whole set that it wouldn't start getting haunted. It starts to like do its own thing sometimes, which is fun. I like to, yeah, so I like analog synths kind of for that reason. It
Sure.
feels like they have a soul inside of them. There's some life to them.
Warmth in there, yeah.
Yeah, and they can kind of start to write their own things. So I love synths. I have that sequential circuit synth. I did some touring with it, and I like to have it in my, yeah, in my, among other things like the Dilruba I was using, I'm starting to incorporate more into just like generating new ideas. I used it to write a lot of the songs for this new record,
That's great.
because it has like, I've never really connected with a specific instrument besides the synth until this one that I just discovered by chance. And I love the like portamento, the like bending you can do
Yeah, yeah.
notes. I think it's really haunting and just so evocative. And it's like great for my like tone of music making to
Yeah.
create ideas with.
I was very happy when I saw you pull that out and start playing. That was just a terrific moment in the video, so thank you. Let's see. I'm going to ask this other question because it's one of my favorite ones that anyone has ever asked in a Q&A, which is, what animal do you identify with mostly?
I love that. Definitely a whale. That's my favorite animal. I love humpback whales. It's almost an obsession. I was frequently having reoccurring dreams about whales and just all sorts of different scenarios. And I like to think of them as just like, they're just really old, they're ancient, and they're like world underwater. Their sonic communication. I just love their like swimming libraries
Right.
of info, and just like they feel like I don't know, they just feel like like yeah, empathizing animals, creatures. I love them so much.
Oh, fantastic! You know, again, that's something if someone had asked me, I wouldn't have thought of that, but it makes such perfect sense with the music. It's lovely.
Really
Let's
cool.
see. Another question we have is, someone says, "I love the color of the instrumentation that you selected, and how did you go about deciding what orchestral instruments to use?" There's all those bits of, you know, beautiful bass clarinet and strings and other instruments going on.
Yeah. Well, this was the first time expanding to even like know what instruments I wanted. So I've never like the bass clarinet is on that song Sweet Talk, and I didn't know that was the sound that I wanted. Like I worked with a really awesome musician who plays bass clarinet and many other instruments, and I thought that what I was imagining was a bassoon. It's just like
Hmm.
I thought it would give that like water like deep noise, and I was like, yeah, I want a bassoon on this album. And then she was like, I think you're imagining more of the bass clarinet, and then she played it, and I was like, yeah, that's it.
Oh, great.
Really rich but also like liquidy sound.
Hmm.
So yeah, during this album was the first time sort of hearing a lot of these instruments in person. Like there's French horn, bass
Hmm. That's
clarinet,
great.
there is bassoon on some other stuff, but yeah, hearing it in person, it's so inspiring. And I love to use, like, I guess working with the synths, there's patches made for all of these various like types of
Sure.
instruments modeled after it. So I had my idea of the synth sound of it,
Right.
but then
Hmm.
the real version of it, it's like there's so much more you can do.
Right.
And I forgot what the original question
No,
is.
that's all right. It was just generally about instrumentation and how you chose the different colors, and you
Yeah,
certainly answered that with the about the bass clarinet, which was great.
yeah, I just like the character. Like I like
Hmm.
I think a lot of my ambition with the album was to create this theatricality. I'm
Hmm.
inspired by theater and the stage. Um, and I like the like prominence of the voice of like these unique instruments. They feel very like animated and
Yeah.
yeah.
Very cool. Well, I think it's great. And again, it comes across very obviously that you're kind of thinking in these, you know, like you said, dramatic, I guess, or stagey or movie soundtrack kind of ways about the music. And I think that the instrumentation is definitely comes across as part of that. Um, Let's see. Someone says here, Maisie Fly is so special to me. It is the soundtrack of my life. What are you most excited about and proud of from the latest album, the new project? They say so. I guess the upcoming album.
Oh, well, thank you. That means a lot. The affirmation is really important to me. So thank you. Maisie Fly was really special. I'm really just proud of my growth from there because I'm really just winging it. Everything I do. Um, it's like it's a great feeling that these sorts of like that music making is accessible, that I can do this from home, and like I have a laptop and I'm learning as I go with programs like Pro Tools and just figuring it out. But I'm really just proud of the progress from like Maisie Fly to this record. Maisie Fly was primarily synth based, and it was just me and my synth. And
Hmm.
there's a lot of power in that because the limitation of that wasn't like was good for me. But then to go from just being sort of pretty much a solo endeavor to working with like over 30 different collaborating musicians on this
Sure.
next
Yeah.
project is a
Hmm.
really big leap for
Hmm.
me. It was out of my comfort zone, and I just learned a lot from the activity of music making, like as a yeah, as like a communal thing. And
Sure.
being in the space of the studio, like in a recording studio. So I got to record a lot of the new stuff at a recording studio in Oakland called New Improved Recording. It was
Oh
great.
yes. Hmm.
Yeah, it's a great spot. So um, I just, yeah, I'm just really grateful that I got to do all of that. And it's, yeah, it's a big evolution.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Let's see. I know. Did you want to mention any particular musicians that you were working with? I know New Improved Recording. That's John Finkbeiner's
Yeah,
place, right? And I understand that you worked with Del Sol String Quartet a little bit, or some members of it, or something. Is that right?
yeah,
Uh,
they're amazing.
yeah. Any other musicians you wanted to shout out to, as long as we're talking about that?
Yeah, I loved working with Destiny Muhammad, who I think
Oh, Destiny.
done
Yes. Uh-huh.
Berkeley Art Museum.
Yep. She's writing a new piece for us, actually, so
Oh,
that's
so
exciting.
cool. Yeah,
Mhm.
I really appreciated our collaboration. She played on a couple of different songs, and I hope to do some sort of live thing with her. That would be really cool.
Wonderful. Oh, that's
Yeah,
fantastic.
she's amazing. Just great vibes and
Yeah.
just so much creative power. So
Hmm.
yeah, we recorded some stuff there at New Improved.
Fantastic.
Oh, there,
Oh,
Destiny.
Destiny's online right now. Hi, Destiny.
That was so cool. Yeah, and Julio also played bass. I
Mhm.
appreciated that, just working with upright bass, and there's just too much to mention. But the string quartet, Del Sol Quartet, have they done anything with the Berkeley
Yeah,
Art?
they performed us a few times at the museum.
Yeah,
Yeah, and yeah, they're great friends of the museum for sure. So
they're awesome.
yeah.
They stepped in a really like crucial time with
Oh,
the
good.
production, and made a lot of magic happen.
Wonderful. That's great. Let's see. One of the last questions here is someone says, I've never made music in my life. Would you describe the process of making the album as fun?
Wow. I think it's so hard to like to say that in one word that it was fun. It was the challenge is the fun part. Yeah, the
Hmm.
challenge of having a vision that's all in your head and then making it material is very satisfying. And I think when I started out making music, it was out of curiosity and sort of like, yeah, definitely out of fun. And it's still always, that's always the that's the state you want to be in when you're making things. Like you want to have that curiosity still, and you want to enjoy and have fun with what you're making. And I think there were challenges this time around with thinking about the yeah being more conscious of the state of the world and just the limitations of making this time around. It was definitely it was definitely satisfying and fulfilling.
Good.
But
Good. That's
it was really hard.
yeah. It is work even when you enjoy it.
Yeah. um but it was really fun. It totally was fun, especially when it came to like meeting people that I'd never knew before this, and making
Mm.
some great, like, I feel like lifelong friends.
Oh, that's great. That's
Yeah.
great to hear. I think I'll just ask one more question here, and then we'll draw this to a close. But this Jean asks, are there any influences that inspire the sonics of your music, whether that's literature or artists or landscapes or dreams?
Wow. Yeah, there's so many. I think, um, well, to name a few, I guess specifically with the tracks I did tonight,
Hmm.
the track Awaken was directly inspired by reading Ursula Le Guin
Oh, cool.
in the summertime, the
Hmm.
possessed and just imaginings of alternative realities and world building. And
Cool.
that song is like um a narrative about returning back to earth, like in this sort of like, yeah, post-apocalyptic
Mm.
environment. So I like to do that. I like to like synthesize things that I read and then turn them into songs.
Hmm.
It's really fun. And yeah, I think also I was talking to a friend about how directly impactful these two movies were in my life, which are The Wiz
Uh-huh.
and The Labyrinth, like these
Oh,
two
sure. Yes.
movies. I think
Two
my
movies with great
project
dance sequences.
I think my project is like a direct fusion or blend of those
Oh, I love it.
two.
That's a wonderful mental image of itself.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Okay, so I think maybe we'll wrap things up. Just thank you again, Tia, for everything. Just fantastic. Is there a title for the new album, or is it not titled yet?
Yes, it's called The Turning Wheel.
the Turning Wheel. Okay, and look for that this summer, everyone. Um, let's see. This whole event will put up on the Bamfa YouTube channel sometime in the next few days. Make sure, by the way, that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's a great thing. We're always putting up interesting things like this. So please please do that when you can. And so thanks all of you for attending and listening and watching tonight. And thank you again, Tia, for just truly fantastic and a wonderful evening of great music and conversation too. So thank you for everything.
Thank you.
All right. On behalf of the Berkeley Art Museum, Pacific Film Archive, good night, everyone.